So this holiday, the PS4 is available for $400 with a choice of up to 4 different games. So you get one of these games and the PS4 system as well. Basically, you get Destiny, NBA 2K15, Far Cry 4, or Little Big Planet 3. So you get a choice out of one of those games and the PS4 for $400. Relatively new games that are recently released, or at least games that came out this year. $400, 4 games, one pick. And what's interesting is that it's not, holidays is coming, and it pretty much is right around the corner. I mean, people are probably finished holiday shopping at this point, but at the same time, the PS4 needs to keep up its sales. It needs to stay on top of the game, keep selling those systems, because the Xbox One, since last month in around early mid-November, they kind of started to outsell the PS4 actually, especially with the price cuts they've had and the different bundles that they've had. So the Xbox One has been outselling the PlayStation 4, particularly the past Black Friday. Black Friday sale came out, it took place, and apparently the Xbox One outsold everything, including the PS4. So more people are willing to buy and spend money on the Xbone this time around, and so you can kind of see, is this a sign of the tides turning? Is it because now we are finally seeing the Xbox One outsell the PS4 permanently, where Americans, especially Western gamers, not just Americans, are finally starting to buy the Xbone and move on to the Xbone like a bunch of bandwagoning people that they are. And I mean, the PS4 needs to, once again, they need to stay on top of their game. They need to start releasing their own bundles and they gotta have exclusives. I will always mention exclusives as probably the #1 reason to get a system, and how well and how amazing their exclusives are, as opposed to anything else. As opposed to the graphics or the controller or the the resolution or the specs or any of that stuff. It's all about exclusives over everything, and how well the exclusives play, or are they must-have on that system. And this the game, in order to get the game, so either Destiny, Far Cry 4, Little Big Planet 3, or NBA 2K15, you need to visit a certain website and enter the information included with the PS4 bundle. One thing to remember is that you're getting a digital game, so this is a digital included game. It's not actually, I guess you don't get a hard copy of it. I don't know, they're too lazy to include the actual disc or something. So if you want to return or exchange it, you're out of luck. Oh yes, if you want to return and get rid of the game. I mean, maybe that's a way of countering returns, so maybe that's kind of like the asterisk. You get a game included with a $400 bundle, but you can't bring it back, you can't exchange it or anything like that. This PS4 bundle is available only in the United States. It's also unclear how long the promotion will last, though it's safe bet to believe you'll be able to pick it up through Christmas. The special PS4 promo is similar to the Xbox One offer from September, when shoppers could get a system and a game for $400. According to a recent study, the Xbone trounced the PS4 in Black. I already mentioned this in Black Friday, and the sales matter, the numbers matter when it comes to system sales, when it comes to actual retail sales, because I don't care how anybody thinks, oh, sales don't really matter, it's not a big deal. Yes, it is a big deal. It's a very big deal. It's very important for publishers, because if a system is the top selling system, then publishers are willing to make games for it in order to release it on that system that has a wide fan base, a wide audience, and a big demographic. So that increases their chances of selling their game. That's why some people, some publishers I should say, and some developers have basically not produced any games for the Wii U. Especially last year, in 2013. They were like, well, the Wii U isn't doing so well, so screw it, we're not gonna, even make games for them, or we're gonna try to avoid making games for them, or we're only gonna release few games on it. We're not gonna focus too much on the Wii U, because the Wii U really hasn't sold that much compared to its competition. And as far as the PS4, I mean, obviously the PS4 has been the top selling system of the past year, hands down. And again, that's why sales matter. That's why sales matter in the gaming industry. It's not just, okay, quality, great, but if nobody buys it, nobody spends money on it. Look what happened to the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast had a great selection of games back in the late 90s, and by the early 2000s it was done. It was discontinued in the West because it just failed. It failed to sell. It failed to connect with the audience. People didn't want to buy it. They wanted to buy the PS2 instead. So it lost business. Galactica X. What did Galactica X? I'm trying to read the comments. Meh, bring back the 20th anniversary PS4 and we will talk. Okay, the 20th anniversary PS4, that's just, in my opinion, that's a gimmick. I mean, I read one of the stories where, they basically had a 20th anniversary PlayStation 4, and I believe it was colored silver or gray or something like that. And apparently, like, that made it so interesting and so special. And I think somebody spent like $5 million on it or something like that. It was a lot of money, not quite that much money, but it was quite a bit of money. Somebody spent a lot of money. What is the? I'm trying to find the story right now. What is the story behind this? The special PS4, that special not a bundle, but that special system, 20th anniversary. I can't believe it. It's amazing. Yeah, there you go. 20,000, 20K. 20th anniversary PS4 sells for $20,000. Super rare commemorative consoles appearing on eBay and selling for huge premiums. Huge! Yeah, it's got a gray aesthetic just like the original PS1. Some gamers who were able to buy a 20th anniversary before the limited edition sold out are turning to eBay to sell the commemorative console. The online auction features numerous listings. Manufactured just 12,300 versions of the consoles, and they're officially sold out. And one 20th anniversary PS4 sold for $20,100, and another one went for $15,100. That's a waste of fucking money. That is a waste of money. Oh my god, I'm looking at the fucking eBay listing on it right now. It ended on December 7, 2014. And yeah, it closed at $20K, $100, 34 bids on it. Hopefully this actually did work out and it wasn't some sort of like, it actually, went through and, it actually occurred. Because, I mean, okay, it's colored gray, but so what? I mean, it's not a big deal to me. Oh, it commemorates the 20 years ago, when the PS1 came out in December 94. But to me, it's not a big deal. I don't see such a huge, big stink about it. It has a throwback color, and that's about it. It's just a fucking color. I can't even... It's not worth spending $20K on it, in my opinion. It's a collector's item, sure, but at the same time, who gives a shit? I mean, it's... No system is worth $20,000 or even $15,000 or anything above any thousand number. I mean, unless 10,000 years goes by, or not even that long, maybe 1,000 years in the future, where everything is a lot more expensive and inflation goes up, and assuming that civilization continues where people keep making video game consoles. So it's, it's like year 3000, and because of inflation, everything is like $20,000. So 20K would be the equivalent of modern day today, $400 or $500 or something like that. You know, so it's not exactly, it's just not worth it. 20,000 for a fucking system, man. Unless, unless you save it and then resell it for even more. But those are people that are, you know, like, those are business type of guys. They're like trying to make a profit out of everything, trying to buy something that's limited so that they can in turn sell it for a gazillion dollars in the future, you know, that kind of thing. But that's kind of a risky investment in my opinion. That's more of like playing your cards kind of thing. You're taking some risks and spending that much money on a system that it's not worth it, really. What's the point of having a limited edition system? I mean, the purpose of a fucking system is to play it. To play it. And enjoy it, and actually fucking enjoy the system and play it, and, you know, you buy one, and maybe you buy an extra one, just in case your, you know, first system, you know, something happens to it. So, I understand buying extra systems, extra consoles, as a backup. I got a few myself when it comes to the PS2 and even the PSP, but I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for this particular episode. It's kind of, you know, multiple different topics. You got the $400 bundle and stuff, and in terms of the pricing, it's still not, none of these games attract me. You know what I'm saying? None of these games are interesting to me. You know, you got Destiny, whatever, NBA 2K15, who cares? Far Cry 4, dude, I'm enjoying Far Cry 3, I'd rather spend time with that. Little Big Planet 3, I got Little Big Planet 2, and I still haven't really played that. You know what I mean? I got last-gen versions of these games that I still haven't even really gone through, and I want to enjoy that first. I mean, it's just, I can't really rush into these games right now, into the fucking PS4. There's nothing on the PS4 that's really worth getting right now. There's no games on the PS4 that I want to get. So, you know, the PS4, I don't even know if I am ever really gonna get through to this system and really get rocking with the PS4. There's nothing on the PS4 that I'm interested in. Thanks for watching The Review Space, the most underrated channel on YouTube. For more videos, check out youtube.com/The Review Space.